Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. My name is the Shulker Music. I'm a new upcoming Minecraft YouTuber teaching you about commands and showing you some cool stuff. In my last previous video, I made a video, if I'm going to put it on the screen, where I made a double jump feature for a map that I actually did not continue because I totally forgot about it. A Mario-based map, and it's basically called the double jump feature. I had a comment, and it wasn't really nasty. They just were first they didn't understand the concept, but then they recommended something. They're called Flex. Flex suggested that I do a jump sneak. So every time I sneak in the air, then I double jump. Exactly like that, because that's actually kind of cool. I thought there was a pretty interesting concept, or a pretty interesting idea to put in, because I didn't even think about it, and I don't know why I even did the F bar, the F chat concept. But basically, this is an alternative, more efficient, more common sense way to do the double jump feature in Minecraft. So this stream of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 or 8 command blocks basically runs this entire function, or runs this entire motion of jumping. So we have a lot of good accuracies. There's a little particle effect that I added. So it's not when you're jumping and not when you're sneaking. So it's both when you have to jump and sneak at the same time. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, you need a couple of objectives to add. So let's scoreboard objectives, and we're going to list all the objectives here. We have 3 objectives. One is timer, one is sneak, and one is jump. These are all the objectives that you use in this category. Jump is basically how you make the jump one. You do scoreboard objectives add, and we're going to do jump. And this is already added, so this is just a demonstration. And we're gonna add Minecraft, and there are these different objectives that you add. One of them, if you do custom, Minecraft dot jump. This creates an objective to every time when you jump in the air, it counts it as a number, like how many times you jump in the air. Of course, that already exists. You do the same thing with sneak, and if say we change this to sneak, it's called sneak time. And the last objective that we want to have is called timer and dummy, but we already have that. So a dummy command, a dummy objective is where basically it's not really stands for anything. You make it what you want. So here's what we're going to start with this first command. But first, we're going to figure out how are we going to jump in the air. What I'm using is a brief levitation. Did you see that? I'm using levitation. Not only any levitation, but an amplified levitation for a brief amount of time. So basically, here's how the command works. Every time, let's go straight into it anyways. So we're going to execute as all the players. This is what it means, at all, or the ampersand. I forgot if that's called an ampersand. The other one's called an asterisk. With the scores equals, and then curly brackets. Inside these curly brackets, we're going to put how many of these that has at least one time jumping and 1 tick of sneaking. 1 tick is basically 1/20th of a second. So 20 ticks is 1 second. At the player, we're going to tag, which is basically group, to identify something. The player, the selected player from this first one, we're going to say double jump, which basically is really cool. So if you do tag at all, did a certain tag, then it will be pretty cool. So scoreboard. Now we're going to do this really complicated thing. We're going to scoreboard, we're going to players, we're going to do a scoreboard players add, we're going to add the timer to 1 to all the players that have the tag double jump. So if you have double jump for an extended period of time, it's going to do 20 ticks per second. It's going to accelerate really quickly or fluctuate really quickly. But here, we're going to give the player, all the players that have the tag double jump and have the score timer equals 1. So that first tick that you have the score double jump, or the first time you have the tag double jump and you have the timer go up one tick, which is 1/20th of a second, it is going to, go up specifically at this one. This one tick is going to give you a levitation for 1 second for an application of 100. For comparison, for educational purposes, we're going to give at all levitation for 1 second. For 1, that's 1. And we're going to do it for 100. This is 100. You see how high I go. But it is a pretty big high amplification. Not going to lie. Now we're going to go to the next one. We're going to clear the levitation effect, actually. 2 ticks. The second tick, for anyone who has to score double jump, we're going to remove the levitation. Okay. Now, that does a lot, okay? So every time you do, jump and shift, basically it'll do that. But then double jump and shift are still, they don't go to 0 like that one just did, like what that one just did. So this is what this next command does. It basically, every time you jump in the air, it'll do 1. Then when you hit the floor or hit any surface, it'll do 0. So this is what this command does. We're going to reset jump to 0 to all the players that have jumped at least once, but have the MBT. An MBT tag is basically different things about the player. And then we're going to do these curly brackets inside here. We're going to do on ground with capital O and capital G, 1 byte or 1B, right? The B is very, I don't even know what it stands for, but you got to implement that. So on ground, this basically means if the player is on a surface, like its feet are touching a surface, and I'll set the jump to 0. So this is what that does. You see what on the side, it does that. Now, on to the sneak command. This is very basic, a little easier than the other one. Basically, we're going to do score sneak equals a little more than 1, and we're going to set that to 0 if you have this. That's what the these things are for. So if you press tab, you see my little face up there. That is a sneak. So if I'm sneaking, it sets to 1, and it would go a little more but this keeps resetting. So I'm constantly adding it 1 when I'm holding down sneak. On to the next one. This one sets the timer to 0 if you have the tag double jump. And this is the third tick. This is the final tick that is in here. It resets it to timer to 0. And this probably should go at this here over here. But basically, we're going to remove the tag double jump to all players who have to. So this is in the second tick. But then the third tick, we're going to set the timer to 0. And then we're going to add a particle effect. So I probably just break it down as basic as I can really explain it. But that's what this basically is. This contraption is very nifty, so when you can't really shift and jump. It did it that time. Well, okay. I probably should edit that. But anyways, that is how you do a Minecraft double jump in Minecraft. If you jump in the air and you sneak at the same time and you do a double jump. Now you don't have to do it that, like, you can amplify it to 200, I think. Oh no. See, what happens when you go to 200, it actually inverts downward. So, let's do 150 and see if it works. No. 110? 110 is a little high. There we go. Yeah, 110 is a little high for that. So let's just stick it to 100. So we're doing it like this. So if you want to reach that extra step, do some parkour, that's it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to make another video today, actually. I'm going to try to create another contraption for you, if you don't mind. I'm going to try to do the Super Mario game. It's not really going to be Super Mario, but it's going to be based off Super Mario, you know? But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If this video gets 5 likes, I mean, we got 8 likes on my first video, and I was like, what the? And I was like, that was amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.